Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I hope that you all are doing fine today. Today we'll have contractions from the grade 1. First, we have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. Then you click on your name, you move on to language art. Then we have grade 1, and you scroll down until you find the chapter contractions. We have the lessons for today, which is form pronoun verb contractions, form contractions with not. Hi, how are you doing? I hope that you're doing fine today. Hello. Okay, so first we have contraction is a short form of two words. The words are put together and some letters are left out. An apostrophe shows where the letters are left out. So first you have to note that contractions are when we combine two words to make one shorter word. Okay? So, contraction is when we combine two words to make one shorter word out of the two. Okay? So, usually we have apostrophe. Apostrophe would be replaced in place of the word that is removed. Okay? So, wherever you have the letter that is taken out, apostrophe will be there to replace that letter. So, contractions are important because they help us speak and write more quickly. So, the contractions help us speak fast and also write quickly. So, that's why we have contractions. Contractions are very, very important. Okay? Okay, so we have some examples here of the contraction. We have here I am. So I am is shortened to Okay, so like you can see, I am. This is the full version, but then we shorten it to this. Okay, so when A is taken out, that's where we have the apostrophe, which is just like the sign of the comma up above. So you can see the apostrophe replaces the A. Then we have you will. For you will, W and I is taken out. So apostrophe replaces the W and then the I. Okay, so usually for apostrophe we have it in the word, and then it just replaces like some words, some particular letters in the word. Okay, so it doesn't replace everything, it just replaces a few things. Okay. Okay, so also you can make a contraction with the word nuts. So when we have nuts, we can use nuts to make a contraction, okay? So you have to drop the letter O. So the O in nuts will be taken out and put an apostrophe in its place. So for example, we have is nuts. Okay, so O will be removed when it comes to the nut, so it becomes isn't, like this. And for has not, O will be removed, so it becomes hasn't, like this. So when it comes to the not, you have to make sure that you remove the O. Okay, so you remove the O and you replace it with the apostrophe. Okay, so contractions can be special. Okay, so for example, we have the contraction can't is special. Okay, so this can't here is special. It is short for cannot. So when you have cannot, it becomes can't here. Hello, David, I'm sure. So to make the contraction, you have to drop the letters N and O. So that's why it says that can't is very special, because usually for the knots you have to remove the O, right? So when it comes to cannot, you're removing the two, one of the N and then the O. So and put an apostrophe in their place. So it becomes can't. So N and O is taken out. Usually for other contractions, it's just only O that is removed. But for cannot, it is special, so you have to make sure that you remove that. Okay? Also, we have won't. So the contraction would is also special. It is short for will not. The spelling changes when the two words are put together. So will not is very special because we have W, we have I and two L, then not. But when the two words are put together, it becomes won't. Okay, with the apostrophe. So you see, you have to take notes that can't. Hi everyone. Can't and won't, they are very special contractions. They are not like the other contractions that we have. Okay, so Tenny. Okay, all right, Teniola. That's good. So we have so in our everyday life, of course, we use contraction because They are quicker and sound more natural. Okay? So, yeah, contractions are very important because in our everyday life, okay, we use them. They're very fast and in fact, they sound like so natural when you want to use them. Okay? So, for example, we have let's say I am going to the store, something like this, okay? And when you're using a contraction, we say I am going to the store. So when we use contraction, it becomes like more shorter, and then it's quick to write. It's very fast. It doesn't waste a lot of time. We just use it quickly. Oh, David is in grade 3 and grade 4. Okay, I understand now. Okay. Okay, Tenny. So yeah, that's it for contractions. They're very quick and natural. Okay? Okay, so let's have some list of contractions. We have a lot of contractions. So let's have like some examples of the contractions. Hi. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. So, some contractions we have, let's write them here. If you know any contraction, you can send on the chat also. If you know any, send on the chat. So you can share with us the contractions that you know, okay? Okay, so we have a lot. We have they are becomes like this. Uh will not, which is the wounds. We have cannot, which becomes can't. So you can share with us. We have also don't, do not, and we have don't like this. We have is not, which becomes isn't. Okay. hmm So you can share contractions that you know. Okay. So yeah, it's okay like that. You can do great too. So I think that's perfect for you. Okay. So you can join our grade 2 class later. Okay. All right. So your name is Akin. All right. Leave in the chat some contractions that you know. Share with me, guys. Let's see. You can interact. Share with me. Okay. Okay, so all these are our contractions, okay? We have a lot more contractions. Let me give you some activities. So just take note of all these contractions, okay? Yes. So okay, on the chat box, can you give me the contractions of these words? Mm-hmm. On the chat, can you give me the contractions of these words? This is your activity. You have to do it. So give me the contractions of these words. Check and you give it to me. Leave it on the chat. Let's see. Okay, so I'm waiting for all your answers. You should interact, okay? Tenny, where are you? Akin, Michael. So, what are the contractions of this word? Send it on the chat and let's see. Okay, so first is we are. Okay, next. The next one, what's the contraction? Send me the contraction of the words. Mm. Okay, so send me the contractions of the word. Okay, so we are, they are, don't. Okay, good job, guys. So these are the contractions of this word. Okay, perfect. So we have let's have some activities before we move on to A plus. Okay, so for example, she, and then this is the contraction here. Okay, so you have to give me the right contraction that should balance this sentence. And then I'm happy. So how should we complete this sentence with the right contraction? How should we complete it with the right contraction? So let's see. Okay, send me the right contraction to complete these sentences. Okay, so tell me, what do you think? Write them in the right contraction, these two in brackets. So you write in the right contraction. Okay, what do we have here? Isn't. Okay, good job. So this is the right contraction that should be here. Okay, and then for this one, the last, what is the right contraction? Okay, so I am. Okay, good job, everyone. So, do you have any question concerning what we've just done so far? Before we move on, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions or no questions? Tell me, any questions or none? Okay, perfect. Since we're good, we'll move on here now, okay? Okay, so moving on here, we already know the contractions. It's like filling the contraction that matches. So they will be like this. So so that's the right contraction for they will. Okay. Then we have you will. You will be okay like this. And then here it's also you will. Okay, so let's move on to the test. Send me your answers on. Okay. All right, so you can share your answers with me here. The first one, it will. What is the contraction? So what's the right contraction for it will? Share with me your answers. So option one. Okay. Okay, what about they are? What's the right one for they are? So what do we have? Option one also they are. Okay. So we have they will. What is the right contraction for they will? Okay, so they will also option one. Okay, good. So we have he will. What is the right one for he will? Okay, so what's this one for? Okay, option two. He will. Okay. So we have also I will. What is the right one for I will? So what's the right one for I will? What is the one for I will? Okay, so option one. All right, good job. So the next is it is. So what's the right answer for it is? We have it is. So we have it is. Okay, good job. So what about we will? So we have one. Okay. All right. So what about she is? She is. What about she is? Okay. So what about this one? She is. Okay, so option two. Okay. So you will. We have you will. What do we click for you will? Okay, you will too. Okay. So what about we are? We are. So which one is the right we are here? So option 2. Okay, so that's it for the first lesson that says form pronoun verb contractions. The next one will be form contractions with not. So we have the contractions with not. This one, for example, when we have doesn't, so it becomes like this. Then we have wasn't, and then you have to remember to remove the o. So then we have do not. So we have don't here. Okay. So that's it for the contractions with not. So let's move on to the test. Okay. So for this one, you send me the answer for was not. So was not. What is the right answer here? So moving on to was not. What's the right answer for the was not? Which option is the correct one? Okay, so option 1. Option 1 is the correct one. Wasn't. So what about do not? What is the right one for do not? Okay, so option 1. Okay. Okay, what about cannot? Cannot. What about cannot? So it is, what about cannot? So can't. Two. Okay, so hasn't. So this is hasn't. Okay. So we have for aren't. We have for aren't. So okay, aren't. Okay. So that's it for the contractions. We will continue the next lesson for the contraction next week when we get to meet again. We'll finish the lesson for the contraction. But before we end, let me know, do you have any questions before we end? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions before we finish? Okay, so since you have no questions, we will end now. And I hope that you have a good evening and see you guys next time. Okay, bye bye.